Finally, the last section of this chapter is to give some examples on the basic exclusions in a life insurance policy. So what are exclusions? Yeah, exclusion is another terminology that you'll come across when you study about insurance. Exclusion clauses are basically to limit the insurance company's liability and to discourage anti-selection. So this anti-selection, yeah, you have learned about adverse selection, right? So it's something like that. With the presence of insurance, there will be a tendency for people who are at high risk to want to take up insurance compared to people of low risk. Yeah, for example, if you know yourself that you think that you are unwell, yeah, of course you know you are unwell, and therefore you have a higher risk, yeah, of the perils covered under life insurance policy. So of course this kind of people, people with a certain illness, or they feel that something's wrong with them, that they should purchase insurance. So there is a tendency for anti-selection, yeah, or adverse selection. So the high risk people would want or tend to buy insurance compared to the healthy people. Yeah, so basically exclusion clauses are to discourage anti-selection and also to limit the liability of insurance companies. So basically it does not cover certain listed perils, yeah, which are not payable. So we will look at the exclusions on death benefit, disability benefit, and critical illness benefit. So the exclusion on death benefit, okay, this one not that many actually. If you look at an insurance contract, maybe there might be more, but I would just like to highlight one, which is that the death caused by suicide within the first year from the issue date or commencement date, whichever later. So how to explain this is that the insurance policy inception, yeah, from the time that a person takes up the insurance, so within the first year of the insurance policy, death caused by suicide is not payable. And why only limit this to 1 year? Okay, so according to studies, it shows that people who may attempt suicide, or if there is a moral hazard, yeah, in terms of murder, to that means somebody plans to take up insurance and then plans for a death to happen. Usually it would take within 1 year, yeah. So if there's any intention of moral hazard or suicide, so that somebody else would benefit from the insurance proceed, studies have shown that this usually happens within 1 year period. So that is the reason why insurance companies exclude death by suicide within the first year of the policy. However, should it happen beyond 1 year, yeah, death by suicide, then it would be payable. So actually we really need to look at the insurance contract, but generally this is an exclusion that we would usually find in life insurance policies. What are the exclusions on a disability benefit? Basically, what is excluded is any disability resulting from attempted self-destruction or self-inflicted injuries while sane or insane. So self-destruction or self-inflicted injuries that causes any disability is excluded because it does not fulfill the principle of fortuitous losses. Yeah, it doesn't happen by chance, but intentional in this case. Another exclusion of disability benefit is that the disability resulting from services in any armed forces or public order restoration. So people working in the military or the police, if disability occurs from the occupational service, okay, so that is not covered, yeah, is excluded on an insurance policy, because by nature the military or the army and the police, their kind of job is high risk anyway. Okay, the third type of disability is activities connected to any aerial device or conveyance, except as a fare-paying passenger or crew member on a commercial airline on an established passenger route. So activities in terms of aerial device or conveyance. Conveyance is the action of transporting something or someone from one place to another. So I think this would cover or it would include things like maybe a helicopter or a ride in a cable car, you know. So if any accident happen while on that type of conveyance vehicles, it will not be covered under the disability benefit. Another type of exclusion is any congenital defect which has manifested or was diagnosed before the insured attained 17 years of age. Here, congenital defects means a person who is already born with certain type of defects, yeah, or it was only diagnosed before the insured attained 17 years of age. So any disability that results from these congenital defects would not be covered under the disability benefit. And lastly, as an example, pre-existing disability resulting from a physical or mental condition, this is also excluded from a life insurance policy. For critical illness, the list is actually very long, so we would need to look at the policy to actually look at what are the conditions and the reason why the exclusions are many. And here I only put down a few, because critical illness itself there are the 36 basic critical illnesses, and so each one of those conditions will have different types of inclusions and so on. So let's just take example of a few exclusions. The signs and symptoms of the critical illness are manifested prior to or within 60 days of the date of the rider begins, yeah, or last reinstatement date for cancer, heart attack, and so on. So what this means is that the symptoms of the critical illness had already appeared within 60 days of taking up this policy. Yeah, so this is in a way, so this is to handle the issue of the anti-selection, whereby if somebody suspects that he or she might have a heart attack, or if she or he suspect that she has cancer and quickly takes up an insurance policy, so the insurer can actually check, yeah, through medical records or so on. So if this illness had manifested within the 60 days, it is usually not covered. Yeah, so this is to deal with the problem of anti-selection. Okay, what else? Yeah, so cancers. What are cancers that are excluded? They are cancers which are histological, classified as pre-malignant, non-invasive, carcinoma in situ. Okay, these are all very all the jargon words here. From what I understand is that there are certain types of cancer which are non-invasive in nature, yeah, benign. Okay, or another word is a benign type of cancer. So these kind of cancers are also excluded, yeah, the non-invasive ones. Okay, so it's excluded. So only the invasive type of cancer are covered. Okay, so and let's take another example. All cancers in the presence of HIV is also excluded. Yeah, so we have talked about what is or how HIV is contracted. So all cancers in the presence of that would not be covered under critical illness benefit. Another exclusion is any skin cancer other than malignant melanoma. Okay, so any skin cancer is usually not covered, yeah, under critical illness benefit, except for this malignant melanoma. So I presume that this is malignant melanoma is a more serious type of skin cancer. Yeah, so this one is covered, the malignant type, but the other type of skin cancers are not covered. Okay, and another one is if the critical illness or surgery is caused through a self-inflicted injury, also not covered. Or things, critical illness that is caused directly or indirectly by AIDS or HIV infection, okay, except for HIV due to blood transfusion, or under the new AIA policy, it said that the occupational type of or occupational contracted HIV is covered. Okay, so here just to put as a disclaimer, this list is non-exhaustive and we would need to look at the policy contract to see the full list of exclusions, yeah, under the policy. Okay, so I think this has been quite a long lecture, about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I hope that you bear with me, and you can always pause and rewind, re-listen to the slides in your own time, yeah. So okay, I'll see you in the next e-learning lecture, yeah. Thank you.